What drives people to explore the most taboo corners of intimacy? In recent years, one act has quietly moved from the margins to the mainstream: anal sex. Once considered forbidden territory, it now sparks curiosity, conversation, and controversy. But what exactly makes it appealing? And more importantly, how can it be done safely? What is anal sex? Anal sex refers to the insertion of a penis into the anus of a partner. Though once rarely spoken of, it is now openly discussed as part of the modern sexual landscape. Across the United States, data reveals a striking shift. Around 37% of men and 30% of women have reported engaging in anal intercourse. When multiple studies are combined, the numbers show that roughly 10% of sexually active women engage in anal sex on a regular basis. Why the growing interest? For some, it's about intimacy, an act that feels deeper, more vulnerable than traditional intercourse. Others seek novelty, looking for new ways to experience pleasure or emotional closeness. A portion of participants find thrill in crossing boundaries, chasing sensations that blend pain with pleasure. Still others simply include anal sex as part of their broader sexual relationship, an extension of shared trust and exploration. But what lies beneath this rise in popularity? Is it just trend or something more enduring? A history written in secret, though often thought of as a modern phenomenon, anal sex has roots stretching back through centuries. As early as 300 AD, depictions of anal intercourse appeared in Peruvian pottery, bold and unmistakable. Centuries later, Chinese hand scrolls and prints from the 16th to 19th centuries quietly documented similar acts, followed by provocative French lithographs and early photographs in the 19th and 20th centuries. What do these historical echoes suggest? That anal sex is neither new nor rare, it is simply less hidden now. But with visibility comes responsibility. Is it safe? Only if done right. The act itself, when approached correctly, can be entirely safe. But the anatomy of the anus brings certain risks that demand careful attention. The anal canal does not produce natural lubrication like the vagina. Without added lubricant, friction can lead to tearing, discomfort, or worse. And because the rectal lining is extremely thin and fragile, it is more susceptible to injury and infection. So what does safety really look like in practice? The essentials of safe anal sex: before anything physical begins, mutual consent must be clear. Not all communication is verbal. Body language, hesitation, or tension can speak volumes. Ensuring both partners are genuinely comfortable isn't just ethical, it's essential for enjoyment and trust. Once consent is in place, the next key is lubrication. Because the anus lacks self-lubricating glands, external lubricants are non-negotiable. But not all lubes are created equal. Water-based lubricants are typically recommended for anal sex due to their compatibility with condoms and their balanced pH. However, they can dry out quickly, so reapplication may be needed mid-activity. Silicone-based and oil-based lubricants offer longer-lasting slickness, but may not be safe with all condom types. Choosing the right lube isn't a matter of taste, it's a matter of comfort and health. And here is the twist. Failing to lube properly doesn't just cause pain, it increases the risk of serious injury. What about condoms? No pregnancy risk, but since pregnancy isn't a concern with anal sex, many assume condoms aren't necessary. But this misconception could lead to devastating consequences. The rectal lining's fragility makes it a hotspot for the transmission of sexually transmitted infections: STIs, HIV, HPV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis can all spread through anal contact, sometimes more easily than through vaginal sex. And yet, statistics show very few people use condoms during anal sex. This gap between behavior and risk is startling. Fortunately, there are options. The only FDA-approved condom specifically designed for anal sex offers enhanced durability to withstand more friction. Oral anal contact also carries risks, and for that, dental dams provide a layer of protection. Regardless of the method, penetration or oral lubrication and barriers are the twin pillars of safe practice. But safety doesn't end there. From anal to vaginal, switch protection, a crucial but often overlooked rule. If switching from anal to vaginal penetration, a new condom must be used. The rectum contains bacteria that, when introduced to the vaginal environment, can lead to serious infections. One careless transition can undo an entire evening of safe planning. Anal toys, exciting, but choose carefully for those new to anal play. Starting with smaller objects is often recommended. A lubricated finger or specially designed sex toy allows the body to gradually adjust. But there's a catch. Not all toys are safe for anal use. Only toys with a flared base or retrieval loop should be considered. These features prevent the toy from slipping inside entirely an emergency that could require medical intervention. Items made for vaginal play often lack this safety feature. Using the wrong toy could mean an abrupt end to the evening and a trip to the From butt plugs to anal beads and beyond, the market offers variety, but not all options are equal in safety. Sanitizing toys after each use is another non-negotiable step. Without it, the risk of infections increases dramatically. But what happens when something doesn't feel right? When pleasure turns to pain during anal sex isn't just unpleasant, it's a warning sign, especially if it's persistent or accompanied by bleeding. In rare cases, improper technique can injure the anal sphincter, the muscle ring that controls bowel movements. Such damage can lead to fecal incontinence, an emotionally and physically devastating condition. Though rarer, this consequence highlights the importance of preparation, patience, and paying attention to the body's signals. Safe anal sex isn't just about condoms and lube, it's about empathy and awareness. Final thoughts: trust, safety, and shared discovery. When practiced with consent, communication, and caution, anal sex can be not only safe, but a source of mutual intimacy and satisfaction. It may not be for everyone, but for those who choose to explore it, the rewards can be rich. Emotional closeness, new sensations, shared vulnerability. But none of it matters without safety. Anal sex is no longer a fringe act, it's part of modern sexual expression. And like all acts of connection, it carries both risks and rewards. The key lies in preparation, protection, and respect. Because pleasure should never come at the cost of health.